Right now, as you watch this video, one institution controls the financial fate of 8 billion people. It sets the price of money itself. It can trigger recessions. It can end them. It has never been fully audited. So why does almost nobody talk about it? What if the money in your wallet is not really yours? The Federal Reserve is not federal. It has no reserves. It is a private banking cartel that was born from a secret meeting on a private island. November 1910, Jekyll Island, Georgia. 9 men gather in secret. Their decisions that night would shape the next 100 years of human civilization. No school will teach you this. No politician wants you to know it. But today, Professor Eco is going to pull back the curtain. Before we begin, I need you to understand something most people get completely wrong. The Federal Reserve doesn't just control American money, it controls the world's money. And by the end of this video, you will never look at your bank account the same way again. To understand the Federal Reserve, we must go back to 1907. America was in chaos. Banks were collapsing like dominoes. J.P. Morgan, the most powerful banker in history, personally bailed out the U.S. economy. One private citizen saved the entire country. The politicians were horrified. Never again could one man hold that power. So they decided to create a new kind of institution, one that would never be controlled by a single man. Senator Nelson Aldrich secretly invited the most powerful bankers in America to his private rail car. They traveled under fake names, called themselves duck hunters. No reporters, no cameras, no records. For 9 days on Jekyll Island, they designed what would become the Federal Reserve System. The attendees represented 1/4 of the entire world's wealth. Paul Warburg, Frank Vanderlip, Henry Davison, Benjamin Strong, and Senator Aldrich himself. These men were not public servants. They were the owners of the very banks the new system would regulate. After 3 years of political maneuvering, President Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act into law. December 23, 1913, 2 days before Christmas. Most of Congress had already left for the holiday recess. The Federal Reserve Act passed quietly, almost invisibly. Wilson himself would later write that he had made a grave mistake. He wrote, "I have unwittingly ruined my country." The Federal Reserve has 3 extraordinary tools to control the entire economy. Weapon 1, the interest rate. When the Fed raises rates, borrowing becomes expensive. Businesses stop investing. Workers get laid off. The economy slows. But when the Fed cuts rates, money flows freely again. This one dial controls the pulse of the entire world economy. Weapon 2 is called quantitative easing, but that's just a fancy term for printing money. When the economy crashes, the Fed purchases government bonds using money it creates from nothing. Between 2020 and 2022, the Federal Reserve created 80% of all U.S. dollars that have ever existed in just 2 years. Let that sink in. Every dollar you've worked to save became worth less, not because you made poor choices, but because someone you never elected pressed a button. Weapon 3, reserve requirements. When you deposit money at a bank, the bank does not keep it. It lends it out immediately. This is called fractional reserve banking, and it means your bank has a fraction of your money. For every dollar you deposit, banks can lend out up to 10. Money is not created by governments. It's created by banks, out of debt. Here's where the story goes truly global. 1944. World War II still raging. Representatives from 44 nations gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. Their decision: the US dollar would become the world's reserve currency. Oil is priced in dollars. Grain is priced in dollars. Global trade happens in dollars, which means every nation that wants to participate in the global economy must hold US dollars. And the Federal Reserve controls the supply and value of those dollars. Then, in 1971, President Nixon made one of the most consequential financial decisions in history.
I want to make one thing perfectly clear. The actions taken today were necessary for national security.
He severed the link between the dollar and gold. The dollar was now backed by nothing except the full faith of the U.S. government. But Nixon had already secured the next pillar of dollar dominance. Saudi Arabia would agree to price all oil exclusively in U.S. dollars. In exchange, American military protection. The petrodollar system was born, and it changed everything. Every nation that wanted to buy oil, and every nation needs oil, had to first acquire dollars. But here is the question that changes everything. What happens when a country tries to escape the dollar system? In 2000, Saddam Hussein announced Iraq would sell its oil in euros, not dollars. In 2003, 3 years later, the United States invaded Iraq. In 2009, Muammar Gaddafi proposed a gold-backed African currency to replace the dollar in Africa. In 2011, NATO forces destroyed Libya. Gaddafi was killed. I'm not drawing conclusions. I'm showing you a pattern. 2008, the greatest financial collapse since the Great Depression. The Federal Reserve's response? It created $16 trillion without a congressional vote. That money flowed to Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Deutsche Bank, UBS, institutions around the world. Not a single dollar went to the homeowners who lost their houses. Then 2020 arrived. The Fed cut rates to near zero, then flooded the financial system with $4 trillion in new money. Stock markets soared, asset prices exploded, but the price of everything you need to live also exploded. Inflation hit 9.1% in June 2022, the highest in 41 years. The people who owned assets got dramatically richer. The people who only held cash got dramatically poorer. But something is shifting. A challenge is forming. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, are actively building a dollar alternative. Together, they represent 46% of the world's population and 30% of global GDP. The dollar's share of global foreign exchange reserves has fallen from 73% in 2001 to below 58% today. This is the first credible challenge to dollar supremacy in 80 years. So, what does all of this mean? For you, specifically. Every financial decision in your life, your mortgage rate, your savings return, your employment prospects, is shaped by 12 people. The Federal Open Market Committee, 12 members. Not one of them was elected by you. They meet 8 times a year, and with a few words, they move trillions of dollars. Understanding this is not conspiracy thinking. It's financial literacy. The most powerful thing any individual can do is understand exactly how the system works, because knowledge is the only currency they cannot devalue. At the start of this video, I asked why nobody talks about it. Now you are one of the people who does. The Federal Reserve was created in secret. It operates in shadow, but it only has power over those who don't understand it. Share this with someone who needs to see it, and if you want to go deeper, everything starts below.